Staubcast number 1, Regents Preview. Hey guys, this is a Staubcast. It's a little bit different than some of the videos we've watched in class. I'm not going to be yelling at you, I'm not going to be dancing around, I'm not going to be talking way too fast. I'm just going to give you information. It's a little bit different because I have it set up in such a way that the screen will contain lots of information while I'm talking. You can see over here we have a little whiteboard. That's where the information will be. This green thing is supposed to look like a post-it note. That's my kind of sticky notes thing, the really important stuff. So this is a Regents Preview Staubcast. So we're going to be talking about the Regents, letting you know what the Regents is made up of, what you need to know to take the test, and then we'll get into the information that you need to know for the test. So the Global Regents is Wednesday, June 17th. It's 7:30. That's what time it's set up on the school testing calendar that is hanging up right there. Set your alarms right now. Don't forget, be here on time. You don't get the time that you lose if you show up late. So you want to make sure you have as much time as you need. Be here as soon as you possibly can. When you get the test, when you get here, this is what it looks like. This is last year's test from June, and the cover is very similar to the algebra and the living environment that you took last year, and you can see it's broken down in 3 parts. You can see right over here. We're going to go through those 3 parts right now. And this is those 3 parts, all right? The first part, and remember, you'll see right there, it says answer all the questions. Make sure you answer all the questions. You don't answer a question, you don't get points for it. You don't get points for something, you can fail pretty easily. All right, you get 3 hours plus your extended time. Make sure you keep note of that. We'll obviously help you out, let you know how much time you have left over. All right, so you can see right there, it's a 3-part test. Part 1, 50 multiple choice. Part 2, thematic essay. Part 3, DBQ. Let's take a look at each one. All right, what do you need? A few blue or black pens. No pencils, no cell phones, nothing but pens. Don't bring anything into the room. You're not going to be allowed to have it. Don't assume that pens will be provided for you. I'm not supervising you on test day. I might not see you. Don't assume that someone else is going to have pens. All right? If you don't have a pen, you're not going to be able to answer. No answers, you fail. See my little hashtag. Alright, so the first part is 50 multiple choice questions. It can be anything we learned about in 9th or 10th grade. Like I've been saying in class, you need to get between 30 and 35 right. You want to pass? Get lots right. There's little Joe Biden. He's eating ice cream. He just passed. Alright? You want to fail? Get a lot wrong. The essays are important, but multiple choice is more importanter. Alright? Yeah, I just said it. Alright? Here's the thing. The more multiple choice you get right, the worse your essays can be. You don't want to write bad essays, but obviously, the more multiple choice you get, the more likely you are to end up with a good grade. Alright, here's some strategies for the multiple choice. Just some couple things that you want to keep in mind while you take it. Thing number 1, the Regents follows a timeline. So things from ancient history are going to come before things from more modern times. It's also going to be about, I'd say, 60% 10th grade material. So somewhere around question 20, it's going to switch from 9th grade stuff to 10th grade stuff. You want to just keep that in mind while you take it. So the later questions on the test probably aren't going to have to do with ancient Rome or ancient Greece. All right. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is the tone of the question. If the question is written in such a way that you're looking for an answer that's positive, look for an answer that's positive. Don't look for something that's negative. If it's talking about the Holocaust, don't look for a positive answer. It's not going to be right. If it's talking about a golden age, don't look for something that's negative, like war, or genocide, things like that. Match the tone. Number 3, prove it. All right? You can take a look at maps, charts, graphs, and things like that, and just go through each answer individually. If you can't prove the answer with the map, chart, or graph, it's not the right answer. Okay? The Regent sets it up in such a way that you should be able to prove your answer based upon the information that's there. Number 4, The Regents likes lists. What do I mean by that? I mean the Regents likes to group things together that have something in common. For example, it'll group together Stalin, Mussolini, and Hitler because they had a similar way of governing their countries. One of the things the Regents like to do is trick you up with those lists. They'll group two things that you definitely know with one thing that you don't to try and confuse you. If you know, for example, that Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were Renaissance artists, and they were alive during the Renaissance, and they throw in another Renaissance figure that you're not familiar with, guess what? The answer still has something to do with the Renaissance. They're just trying to trick you up. Alright? Number 5. How does it sound? Does it sound Chinese? Does it sound Japanese? Does it sound European? If it sounds like one of those things, the answer is going to have to do with one of those things. So even if you don't know the answer, look for what it sounds like. That might be right. Number 6, process of elimination. Try and get rid of as many wrong answers as you possibly can. If you know something's wrong, it's probably not the answer. Alright, moving on to the thematic essay. Alright, it's based on the different themes of global history. We're going to talk about those in another one of these Stoutcasts. Alright, the task will be there and it will be in dot form. Okay, we've talked about it many times. If there's a dot, you need to make sure you answer the dot. How do you do it? Well, thematic essay is a formula. It's not really an essay. The Regents wants you to follow a certain format. As long as you follow that format, you can get a halfway decent grade. Well, it might not be a great grade, but it'll be enough to get you to pass. Make sure you have topic sentences. The Regents love topic sentences. Make sure you set up a tic-tac-toe board. Alright, that chart that you use to fill in, using the task, using the dots, set up a tic-tac-toe chart. Fill in the chart. Once you have the chart filled in, your essay is basically written for you. All you have to do is add an introduction, a conclusion, and put that information into paragraph form and you're set. Everything you know about the event that you're writing about, everything you know about the person, write everything you know. Take that, put it on paper, and then take something else. Write more, alright? You have to assume that the person grading the paper, who by the way will not be me, is a complete idiot, and you're informing them everything you know about that topic, okay? My daughter likes to ask questions all the time. She wants to know why, okay? Well, assume that you're writing it to a 2-year-old who just keeps asking you why, and then you keep explaining why it's the right thing to write about. Alright, part 3A, those are the document questions. There's going to be 10 to 14 documents. They'll usually be between 1 and 2 questions, usually worth about 15 points. The essay itself, or the documents themselves, will be based on 3 events, time periods, or people. Alright, some of the documents will be long, some will be short, some will be just a picture. Alright, and you're going to have to answer questions based on that. Okay, now, alright. The documents are easy points, but you have to focus. You need to make sure that you answer the question that's there. Alright? The other thing you want to keep in mind, if you have 1 or 2 word answers, you're probably wrong. Alright? I'm not saying everything needs to be in a complete sentence, but for the most part, a 1 or 2 word answer is not going to get it done. Alright? Also, if you're copying something straight out of the document, make sure the answer makes sense. We get a packet of information that tells us what we can and can't mark correct. A lot of times, stuff that's just copied out of the document that doesn't make sense, that's in there as a definite wrong answer. Last but not least, and I set it up before, make sure you're answering the question. Alright? If I tell you the sky is blue and then I ask you what color is the sky, don't say 3 o'clock, because it's wrong. Alright. DBQ essay. Look at the task, see the dots, follow the dots. I can't say it enough. The dots are there for a reason. You need to make sure you follow the dots. Set up a tic-tac-toe board and make sure you can answer each individual dot. Alright? If it tells you to write about 2, leave 1 out, because what ends up happening is if you do that and your essay is kind of between grades, you're going to get marked the lower grade for not following the directions. And don't just describe the documents. It's not an essay about what's in the documents. The essay has a question. You're using the documents to answer that question. Okay. Last but not least, You're done. You finished the test. What do? Okay. Well, go back and check your answers. Make sure there's no blank spaces, all right? Taylor Swift's not here. There are no blank spaces. If it says name, write your name, even if you're not using that page. Why? I don't really know. It's just something that you have to do. Put your name in any place it says write your name. Okay? That's it. Congratulations, you made it through the first Stoutcast. There'll be a ton more of these. It's going to help you out on the Regents. I'll see you guys later.